Are you suggesting that making a tractor run and move is a funny place to start building a race car? A while back, by that I mean last week, I hinted at the fact that we've got another race car project stashed away in a barn that I've kind of ignored for a number of years. And that's what I wanted to do today. But the reality is, a guy can't ignore his chores forever. I got a lot of tall grass kicking around. This old tractor is going to get hooked up to a rough cut. We're going to do that. And then we're going to pull out the project with it, because that'll feel like success. I've no idea what year it is. Look at this, eh? It's all made out of aluminum. I can't tell if this is just faded through primer or somebody got carried away with the spray can, but man, that's cool that it's aluminum, hey? It's got 4 cylinders, electric start. That fuel filter assembly looks like it's gonna be trouble. All the parts are sort of there, I think. Brand new tires that my mom put on it a number of years ago. It's got a 540 PTO and a 3-point of sorts. Now, like, I wish I could give a better explanation other than this is a tractor and it's old. But the reality is, like, that's kind of as much as I know about tractors. I think I can make it run though, and I bet I can figure out how to drive it. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, for starts, I want to get it out of the weeds so I'm not fighting with thistles. The Great Canadian Thistle is not my friend. I don't know what it weighs, but it's not very big. Oh, yeah, there's gear positions. That's good. Okay, we got a 2, a 4, and an R written down here. Let's try putting it between them all. Now, I see something I do like, and that's that it's got an oil pressure gauge. And that means it's not splash oil. Speaking of the oil, I pulled out the dipstick. It is brand new, like brand new, out of the bottle kind of situation. I'm guessing it got oil changed before it was parked. Now, I think I heard this tractor run one time when I was like of a single digit kind of age. It's been a little while, and as far as I know, that's the last time it ran. But at least it ran then, like in my lifetime. Let's see if it'll move. Come on, let's go. Feel like I'm going uphill. Oh, come on. Oh. I should make some friends. A ratchet strap. This is the wrong thing to use, but at least it's got some mildew on it, so that's gonna be great. Hi, Luna. You know, there's only one place that I don't want you to stand, and it's right here. This is a dangerous place. You can't stand here. Maybe we ought to give the wheel a turn just to make it go the right direction, eh? Oh! Maybe that was a pipe dream. Okay, well, that's the way that it is. It's gonna go the direction it's gonna go. Now that it's free, we can have a little bit better look at it. Yeah. It's got an oil filter, it's got a starter, it's got an ignition coil and a distributor. There's a radiator in the front, it's got a seat, steering wheel. Oh, I feel like that was one of those things I shouldn't have pushed on. It's got Yeah, it's got a crossbar and 3 points. It's got this, that's a PTO. I think they call it a 540. The mufflers, well, the muffler's blown out is what it is. It's got the same thing over here. Now when you push on this, that actuates both of those going upwards. I don't know how this part works. Voltage regulator maybe? Carburetor, generator, alternator type thing? Maybe I'll just take the hood off and see what it looks like under there. How does this open? Oh, yeah. Oh. Well, this isn't hard. Is that as far as it goes? I guess so. Upon opening the hood, we see that there's a spot for a battery that isn't in there. We see that I don't think that looks like how it's supposed to. I don't know what this is exactly. Oh, this is your oil bath air filter. That's what this is. It's not a reservoir at all. Okay, well, maybe we can figure that out. But there's supposed to be a battery in here, which I assume is 6 volt, but I don't know. We got a fuel tank. We got that. Now, I think this radiator hose could be a problem. We'll see. Still got a belt on it. Oh, that looks positive. Will it turn? Oh. The belt's just slipping. But I guess we should see if it turns over. That'd be a good place to be. Oh, it turns over easy. Perfect. That's no worries there. Let's look at the points because we're here. That'll be fun. They are dirty, dirty, dirty. I don't suppose it has any coolant in it, does it? No. Alright, so we're gonna need coolant. Now, over on this side, I've just located a dipstick for the transmission, and it looks brand new and clean and full. So that's good. I don't know. Oh, this is cool. Oh, what's this cool thing? Oh man, we found something cool. Look at that! It's a crankaroo. It's to start it. Pretty neat. Now we've just been looking at the electrical for a minute, and the good news is I think this is a start wire. It's got a bee nest on it. This is a switch that I don't know what it does, but the good news is the wires aren't hooked to anything, so we don't have to worry about it. This is an oil pressure gauge, which looks like it's still hooked up. And then there's this, which is a gauge I can't read, but it's okay because the wires are cut off. Like overall in electrical, we're in good shape because basically it's all been removed. And I'm assuming that's because it wasn't necessary. I think I should go get a battery, some sandpaper, a few tools, and we may as well just count on pulling the carburetor apart and cleaning it, as well as that fuel bowl thing. We removed the glass bowl. The rubber seal inside is, well, it appears to be made out of an old inner tube, and it's tore now. It wasn't before, but it is now. So I guess we'll have to figure out how to make a new seal for that. We're gonna open this up and see what we see. Oh, the valve still works, and there's some sort of fluid in there. It does not smell like gasoline, and I don't think it's flammable anymore, so we're just gonna let it all drain out. Oh, it's dripping on me. Okay, we're gonna let that do its thing and yeah, walk away from that project. Now, there is one slight problem with boosting this thing when it's on 6 volt. I only have one vehicle that's on 6 volt and one method of charging it. Maybe you'll recognize the old girl. Still got brakes. Yeah, it's still got brakes. Now, before I get too carried away boosting this thing, I'm just going to toss a little bit of fresh fuel through it. Let that run out of that filter housing. Just to hopefully, you know, make a more flammable thing. That looks pretty good. We'll just rinse this out while we're at it. Little cup. Get all the junk out of there as best we can. We're not going to put more than a couple liters in here. Oh, it appears like maybe it leaks. Oh no, now it's worse. Let's turn that off. Boy, that may as well not even be in there the way that thing's leaking. Well, after that failed experiment and questioning my own sanity, I realized that I have an O-ring kit that goes to this big of O-rings, so why don't we try that? Maybe that will be a seal that actually works. Now the bowl isn't filling. Why is the bowl not filling? Now folks, if you're a regular watcher, you may have noticed that the audio is not quite up to snuff. What you were witnessing was the death of my microphone. So there's a few minutes here where, well, you get to watch what I did and follow along. This is us hooking up the DeSoto to the old battery cables. That doesn't seem to be working. So we hooked it direct up to the starter. Yeah, nothing there. Swap polarity. No, still nothing, eh? Well, that isn't working. Let's just try it one more time for good measure. No good, eh? Well, let's try the other cables. Maybe it's a cable problem. Doesn't work, eh? Oh, back on the starter. Okay, swap polarity. No, it doesn't work. Pull out the spark plugs. You can do that at least, eh? Alright, well, we'll take some sandpaper to them and clean them up. Now, we've pulled the starter apart, and that brush sure looked bad, and that gear's about trashed. You can see it on my face, I'm not happy. Oh well, let's see if we got power everywhere. We got a secret weapon here, see? It's an old crank start. Well, we can crank and crank, but it doesn't seem to go, does it? Yeah, throw a little flare in your swing, Heathen. Maybe that'll make it start. Still not going, eh? Well, yeah, see if there's power at the coil still. There still is, eh? Well, just keep trying. Yeah, go round and round. Maybe that'll help. Getting tuckered out, eh? Not working. That's a good idea. Put some oil down the cylinders. That'll keep it lubricated. Keep the top end from getting wrecked when it finally starts from pulling around on it. Does it spin easier now? It must be spinning easier. Put the plugs back in. It'll start for sure now. Good morning. So I took the evening off and, you know, asked a few pertinent questions to a couple people that might know something, and we've learned a number of useful things. Number one, this is not a Ford 8N or a Ford 9N or a Ford 2N. It's called a Ferguson TE20. Number two, it's made in England. This is like an actual English one with the standard Motor Products engine. Engine shared, incidentally, with the Triumph Spitfire of the TR3 variety. So that's pretty cool. It's basically a sports car. And number three, it's already been converted to 12 volts. Which might be why we weren't getting spark with 6 volt. Also why I maybe couldn't get the starter to spin. Like, the starter is kind of trashed, but that would explain why it wouldn't spin. So now that we've got a new plan, what we're going to do is clean up the brushes on the starter, toss it back in, put the spark plugs back in, swap out the DeSoto for something that's on 12 volts, then try and boost. You know what? We have a 12 volt battery. We don't even need it. We're going to go get a battery, and then we'll just try this again. Maybe even with, like, a starter instead of cranking, because I got tired pretty fast and it seemed like I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know what I was doing. That's the big plan now. Yesterday, when I wasn't recording sound, I popped the starter apart. Well, you can see it. That's a big problem. That's not going to last for very long at all, but maybe it'll last long enough to start it. We're going to clean the brushes up as best we can and toss it back in. If we're being honest, these are pretty hopeless. Like, they are wore out. We're still going to try and use them, but they are wore out. The good news is, like, most of the hard work is already done. The points are already clean and set, the plugs are cleaned out, all that still applies. It's mostly just a question of, did I wreck anything by applying 6 volts to the wrong polarity? Because when you do a 12 volt conversion, you also make it negative ground. I also got a little more history. I guess my grandpa bought this in, well, somewhere around 1965. So it's been in the family for a while, you'd say. I won't lie, this is really wore out. Like, it is just, that's not square anymore, that's dink, dink, dink. But we'll do our best. Also, I might bring a roll of electrical tape up and just tidy this wiring up a little bit. It's what you might call sketchy. How is it? They use metric in England a lot? Why is everything the wrong size? Let's find a battery that'll fit. Well, like, the moment has arrived. The starter's back in. The spark plugs are back in, albeit dirty and mismatched. There's a battery in it. We don't know what's going to happen here, but, like, the smoke hasn't come out of it after hooking the battery up, which is good. So why don't we just pull some switches and see what happens? That's ignition. Starter. Oh boy! Okay, that's good. Okay, so the starter that I said was absolutely garbage and needed replaced does turn the engine over. Albeit not very fast, but it does turn the engine over. Let's give her some choke. Try again. How about a little boost of ether? Did you see that? Things are happening. Try that again. It liked it. Bear in mind, we have not pulled the carburetor apart yet, so that's, you know, coming up soon. This is looking very promising. try that again. We'll watch this time. Hey, just stop. Wait. There's a little bit there. It wasn't enough to stop me, but there's a little bit of brakes there. Wonder how you adjust them. So the clutch works. We've got a forward gear and a backwards gear. We don't know anything about the PTO, but we've got that much. Now if we just give it throttle and pull it out, will it start again? We've got a tractor. Like, it's got no brakes, but we got a tractor. That's pretty cool, eh? We were busy, all right? We got all kinds of things happening here. We have brakes all of a sudden. We did some adjustments. We turned some dials. They're not dials. There's like an adjuster deal on the. Anyways, we turned it. We got brakes all of a sudden. Then, look at this. We've hooked our mower up. Check this all out here, okay? We shortened the drive shaft onto our mower. We've got rid of the drawbar, obviously. Then we shortened the drive shaft so it would fit. We put a little bit of preload on that spring so that some of the weight was being lifted up on. And we hooked it up. The 2-point doesn't quite lift it, or 3-point I should say. The two things on the bottom doesn't quite lift it, but with the addition of the spring putting some tension on it, it seems like it's floating. Other than that, like, this thing's ready to mow. Somewhere else. We got a working tractor that can cut grass. Did you see that? Now all I gotta do is take the mower off that we just put on, and I can work on pulling the old next race car project out. That'll be it for this episode of Heathen's Garage. We'll see you next time.